Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining today's webinar. My name is Luzanne Lottering, the Marketing Manager here at Cardiolog Analytics, and I will go ahead and kick things off. Thanks for joining us for today's webinar for UK customers to learn how to drive Office 365 collaboration and increase portal productivity. This webinar is being recorded, so if you want to share this with a colleague, we'll go ahead and send an email with the recording after today's session. And of course, if you have any questions, please send them through the questions box within the GoToWebinar panel, and we'll leave some time towards the end for Q&A. And you can also connect with us on Twitter with the Twitter handle @Cardiolog. In regards to the agenda for today's webinar, we will start out with a very short introduction. We'll talk a bit about Cardiolog Analytics and who we are, and then we will talk a bit about what to measure in the different Office 365 environments in order to get the necessary insights that will help you take action in order to drive collaboration and increase users' productivity in areas such as SharePoint and Teams. And then I will show you how our engagement solution will help you to leverage the data or take action based on the insights. And then at the end, we'll take some questions. I'll start off with a brief introduction about who Cardiolog Analytics is. So Cardiolog Analytics has been around for about 16 years now, since 2005. And over the past 16 years, we've been focused on analytics and engagement designed for SharePoint, Teams, and Office 365. Our flagship solution is Cardiolog Analytics, and it's built specifically for internal platforms, including all versions of SharePoint from 2010 up to 2019, as well as SharePoint Online, Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, Exchange, and soon also Microsoft Viva. Our solution is available both on-prem and as a SaaS version based on Power BI. We are very focused on the UK market with many customers such as Rolls-Royce, to name but one. Our goal is to help our UK customers to constantly improve Office 365 based on how it's being used. So there are 4 pillars that we talk to our customers about. The first is monitor, which is tracking the usage within SharePoint and Teams and OneDrive and Exchange and so on. And the second is engaging users, asking them what their needs are, what their pain points are, and what is not working for them. And then the next pillar is to enhance. We want to make sure that we are constantly improving SharePoint and Teams and so on based on those first 2 pillars that I've mentioned. And the idea is to have actionable metrics which will allow us to constantly make Office 365 platforms better for our users. And then finally, the last pillar, which we will not be covering today, but it is securing Office 365 by enforcing permissions and access, identifying breaches of information, and securing confidential data. In order to fully onboard and drive value with Office 365, a tracking tool is a must because value is assessed by measuring usage, first of all. So once your organization has that information, you will be able to make the necessary changes accordingly. Analyzing usage reports, patterns, and search logs will show what features users like and which they maybe still haven't incorporated into their daily routines. And then the administrators can take this information and create maybe new training plans, for example, to encourage users to integrate more Office 365 features into their workday. But what to measure to improve collaboration and productivity in the portal? First will be content usage. Analytics tools elevate content analytics from single page views to influential content. And this is tracked by looking at comments and likes and ratings and followers and so on to show not only page clicks, but what users are truly looking for or are really interested in. Visitors usage. This is the data gathered from user analytics, and it's beyond what they are viewing. It looks at how users are interacting with each other. Instead of looking at average user behavior, we can analyze champions or evangelists to leverage their influence by tracking their followers and how much content they are contributing. Apart from just tracking the content used and the user activity, another important step is actually using that information or that data or insights to take action in order to really drive consumption and collaboration. That, in essence, will get users to access the content that is important, or that content not being accessed, as well as getting those inactive users to take advantage of all the amazing features in Office 365, which will drive usage, collaboration, and therefore overall productivity in the organization. And this is where communication comes in. Communication via the right channel at the right time, and in the case of inactive users or departments, also the right user will make sure users are well informed of the change, its impact and its benefits. Tailored training plans to equip users with knowledge and ability to thrive through the Microsoft adoption journey helps to facilitate sustainable adoption, collaboration, and also productivity. With that, we'll jump right into a demo, and I will show you all of the above tracking and communication in action. Cardiolog Analytics' Office 365 Usage Analytics combines usage data to provide rich analytical capability to measure adoption trends. So I want to start out by first looking at SharePoint. So we have a long list of reports across many different dashboards where I'll show you some high-level data. But first of all, we'll start here where you can see the SharePoint tree structure or hierarchy where I can track as many environments as I like. I just want to make this a little bit bigger. So this particular overview dashboard, we are seeing data about content, about adoption, about search. If we first of all look here under adoption, I'm showing data by departments. And this is how you know who is not very active. So you can target those departments who need more training, who need more support in order to improve their adoption, consumption, collaboration rates. Under content, we can first of all see the most active or the most popular content based on these page view numbers. Let me open this up first. But if we, for example, launched a new HR site, or we have a new important policy, maybe a new Corona policy, we can see if people are taking advantage of that new content. And once we know about this, we can launch a campaign and make sure people are aware of that wonderful new HR site or homepage or important document or new legal file, whatever the case may be for your particular organization. Maybe it's even the CEO's latest blog post or any other important updates. But if I flip that around, now I'm showing only the inactive content, the content that's not being viewed often, or in the case of these that you could see not at all. And that could be sites or documents or pages or more. So all the unused content. And the whole point is that once I know about this, I have this information, I am now empowered to take action and make those necessary improvements. And that could be deleting or archiving or notifying everyone about it, adding a link from the homepage maybe, or launching a campaign. And you can see there's lots of really wonderful actionable data here. So that's the action you can take based on what's most popular and also this unused content. But besides that, you can even see more information. You can see things such as who owns that content, even the size of the content. And all of this will also help you take action, because maybe with really large content, the admin can find out who owns this and contact that person who is the owner of that content and say, for example, to Page that they have 60 days to get rid of the content or improve it, or it will be deleted. Okay, let me go back to the report. Please also note that at the top here are the different content types. So for example, if I just want to see documents for most popular and least popular instead of all the content, then I'll select documents here, and the report will only show data about documents. But for the sake of the demonstration, I'm going to keep all of the different content types. Is everyone looking for the same document or the same page? If that is the case, what would we want to do? Surface that content so it's easier to find. So here on the top left, you can see that the top search terms, you can see it here as well in a different type of view. You can see that it is benefits. So if everyone in the company is looking for this term benefits, let's filter the entire dashboard by this one search term. And now you can see that benefits has been searched almost 1,200 times. And if I multiply that by over 60 seconds per search, that is a lot of time wasted looking for just this one piece of content or this one search term. But now I know about this. I have this information. So maybe I can now surface it by adding a link from the home page with the employee benefits, and that will save a lot of wasted time and improve the overall productivity in the organization and help adoption as well. If you have existing content on benefits, maybe you need to optimize that content or improve the search scheme to assist your users in connecting to it. And if you don't have a lot of helpful content regarding benefits, this is a key indicator to start creating that content to help your users get the information they need. Because basically the bottom line is that as technology becomes easier to use, users or people will come back and they will access it or use it more often. If we continue here, if we look at successful or failed searches, we can see that this is actually something that is quite concerning. It's a very high failed search rate. So only about half of those users actually clicked on the results. And that means that even more time is being wasted. But now I have this data, and therefore I have a way of making improvements. And these are all the metrics that impact adoption and consumption and collaboration in a negative way. If it's difficult for me to find content, I'm not going to be eager to come back and use this technology again. If we look here at usage overview, firstly, what's really nice here is that we can see who our top teams are, and it's really important to be able to see and know how active each top team is, and that gives a very good benchmark of what a productive or what a successful team looks like for you in your organization. So something really important to see is the last activity date, and this is how you know if they maybe did not respond in the last 30 days, in the last 14 days. You can perhaps archive those teams, or you can give those teams more training on Teams so they can start using it in order to drive productivity and take advantage of all the capabilities that they have access to. If we look at engagement overview, in order to monitor usage, you have to review reports to understand emerging trends. So for example, if we look at access type, this usage report shows that not many users are using a certain device to access Teams. So what does this indicate? Users are not sure how to do so. So now we know about it. So what can we do? Perhaps post step-by-step installation instructions for that specific device, and that will help drive usage of a wider device range. Or if I look at private versus team messages, we can see that this usage report shows us that users are primarily using team messages for as the type of message they are sending. But if it was maybe the other way around and most of the messages were chat messages, then you might want to review your team scenarios, because then your users are maybe chatting outside of the initial teams and channels that were set up for them. So by having these valuable insights, you can reach out to those users to change their user behavior in order for them to be more productive and more collaborative. If we look at team overview, this dashboard is really neat, because here you can see data for a specific team, and we can choose which team we want to report on, choose which channel within that team you wish to drill deeper into. In terms of users, this dashboard, you can see the user level, and you can drive adoption by finding out who your influential users are. And also in terms of content, you can see in terms of team and channel if they are sharing content in tabs or sending attachments. So if customers maybe want to give training for teams, we know a specific team is not sharing content, for example, and it could be because they don't know it's a functionality. So when we train, we know where to focus our training. And it's really important to track users' productivity within teams to ensure that users are using all of the functionalities in teams and not just using it as a chat-based platform, but actually using it to be productive and collaborative. I hope we have time, so I can also quickly show you our Augmented Analytics. Augmented Analytics is great because it pinpoints problematic areas on the SharePoint page, so you can take action based on the data. And what's really neat about Augmented Analytics is that the insights are actionable. But so we actually track every single click that users make. We are able to display that. Oh, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Display the data in different ways. So first of all, you'll be able to see each and every click performed on the page. And you can see that around most of the buttons and headers and images, that is where most of the clicks are performed on the page. So if you prefer to see button clicks by number, you could just object, and then here, if I hover over each one of these links, for example, you can then see the total clicks on that link or on that image. Just showing you a couple of these on each link button or the actual clicks or points. But I can also visualize that with a heat map to emphasize even more where the hotspots on the page are, for example. So similar to Cardiolog Analytics data, you have in the reports, you can also use different kinds of filters here with the data. So of course, you can see if we're talking about different date ranges, you can enter the date range you wish to see data for, or you can filter it by department or location, or other attributes that you might want to use. It's very valuable to see what part of the page, such as this home page, was being accessed or used by folks from different departments. And another amazing layer, we just cancel and show you the insights. Really neat, because we know not only where they clicked on the page, but also what their next pages are. We are trying to help customers not just get the data, for example, 1,000 clicks and so forth, like we've just seen when we clicked on points and object, on points or object, but we can also add some insights for them as well. So for example, here we are saying, we can see that it's saying 74% of visitors who clicked on this link to view this list of all articles clicked on the third article on the next page. So add a link to it directly on the home page, and that will save up to 104 minutes a week. Now, isn't that a great insight, telling you what actions can be taken to improve? You can save a lot of time if you make it easier to get to that content quicker, right? And the idea with these insights is to go one step beyond just the raw data of number of clicks, but to give additional insights for our customers on where they might want to take a little bit more notice and suggestions on how they can improve different areas of the page. Now let's hop into Cardiolog Engage. This is a really amazing tool that uses all of the insights and data that I've shown you to take action to drive productivity and collaboration and consumption in all those different environments that I've shown you. Our first step would be to create a new campaign. So you can use one of our pre-canned campaigns, for example, promote a page, invite people to an event, announce something, ask for feedback, ask people what they were looking for. And those are all based on certain triggers, but let's create one from scratch. So say, for example, in the content, I've seen that there are users who did not visit a page or do a search or did a search but didn't click on the search result, or maybe they didn't act with Microsoft Teams ever, or in the last 14 days, in the last 30 days, whatever the case may be. Then I obviously want to reach out and engage with those specific users. So I don't want to bombard everyone with messages, but I want to send a very specific message to a very specific department or user based on the data, based on those insights I've gotten from the analytics. So how, through which channel will they receive this message? Maybe a text message if they are in the sales team out in the field all day, or if they're very active in SharePoint, a quick message that will pop up as a header or footer with a link or a reminder or just a notification, quick email, or maybe you can send them a message right within Teams with that link or that notification. And you can design that message. There could even be a call to action. Maybe if it's for training, like you can ask them to RSVP. If you want to get some feedback directly from them to help you, to inform yourself or your administration of why they are not as active, maybe to get some direct insights from the users, then in that case an open question would be the best call to action. And it will be triggered to be sent immediately, can be scheduled to be sent at a specific date or time, or triggered on their behavior in SharePoint, which is really neat. So when they're scrolling down a specific page in SharePoint or viewing a specific page or busy performing a search, that is when that pop-up will appear. So it's all about sending the right message to the right user and also at the right time. That will create the best possible scenario to get this message through to the users or to get this feedback from the users in order to help you take action and drive collaboration and productivity. By increasing adoption or consumption, users can also be much more productive, right? And Engage allows you to engage your users in order to expose them to the new or relevant content and features in the app. It enables you to establish new methods in which to communicate, and these methods maximize the potential success to gain the user's attention and to complete the relevant tasks, such as telling users in specific teams to check out a file before the end of the day, or informing teams or individuals of assignments that have to be done, or a new policy to check out. Depending on which department they are in, depending on their actions, they will get the relevant message. So that is the end of our presentation today. Please send us any questions you may have in the GoToWebinar questions box. At this point, I see one question, and it is from Nishant. So Nishant wants to know what is the licensing for this. So this is a SaaS platform, so a yearly subscription based on the number of users being tracked. And I would be happy to send you a link to the pricing page, Nishant, and get you any other additional information once we know maybe how many additional users you want to track and target with these tools. So I am going to skip right to this page with our contact details whilst I continue to answer the questions. Actually, there are no other questions. So I just wanted to also tell you guys that this tool is designed for SharePoint. So it's really easy to deploy. There's no need for customization when you want to deploy. With our setup wizard, you can get it up and running within an hour and amazingly already start to collect data. And also, I just want to inform you guys that we have a trial. We have a free trial and also a proof of concept for organizations or people who want a longer evaluation or try more environments. And we can definitely share more information about what is included in each. So please reach out to us. You can see the details on your screen right now. So yeah, I am going to wrap up our session today. As a reminder, we will be sending out a recording to you to share with your colleagues who are maybe unable to attend, or for you to look at certain areas again. And we invite you to visit us at cardiologanalytics.com. You can always tweet us at @Cardiolog. And for more information and helpful tips, you can check out our blog, blog.intlog.com. For more information, you can contact us at info@intlog.com. Don't forget that, info@intlog.com. And you can email us here to schedule a personalized demo for any of our solutions or to set up that free trial that I've mentioned. And that's it. It was great speaking to you guys, and have a good rest of your day in the UK. And a huge thanks to everyone who joined us, and also for that one question. And we hope you'll reach out to us at info@intlog.com. I'll be monitoring that to get any further questions, or hopefully book that demonstration or trial for you and your organization.